Welcome, everyone, to the June 14th meeting of the Council of the Town of Washington. We have agenda in front of us. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I assume.
Marianne, and a second, Joe?
I'll second.
I'd like to add under new business a date for the holiday party. So I'll just put that B under new business. Any other changes?
Yes, under old business, an ARPA update.
ARPA update. All right. All right.
Old. It's an update from,
Right.
All right. So without any further additions, a roll call vote to approve the agenda. Patrick?
Yes.
Yes?
Joe?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
yes,
All right. Thank you. We have minutes for the May 10th, the May 23rd special council meeting minutes, and the May 23rd Council and Planning Commission joint work session minutes. Mr. Bennett, is it possible to do a motion to approve all three at the same time? All right. May I have a motion to? Don't tempt me.
oh, let's.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Marianne.
Excuse me, I have some corrections.
Well, we'll go ahead and have those after we have the motion.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Second?
I'll second.
All right. Now, any corrections or amendments?
Yeah, I guess myself and Jean of the Planning Commission must sound alike, because there are a couple of places in the minutes where what I said is attributed to her. And so one of them is in the work session and it's page 2 of the May 23rd meeting. Very near the bottom, after Ms. Ansley, Ms. Kaufman asked for clarification. Actually, that was me. Clarification of what businesses would, by that time we moved from the Plan Commission to the Town Council. And then, similarly, let me get to, on the, that's not it. Council and Planning Commission joint work session minutes of the 23rd. On page 6, with the public forum, Chuck Ackrey asked what was expected of his team, and Ms. Kaufman responded. That was, once again, it was. I know, it's complicated, right? It is the.
May 10.
So there's those. The other thing I noticed in the handouts that we got is at the back is an approved minutes of the joint work session from May 23rd. Okay. It says, somehow we should probably note that it says approved minutes, minutes of the Planning Commission from a joint work session of the Planning Commission and Town Council. I know, but
I know,
what happens is,
it's on a white piece of paper that doesn't have any title.
it's on, yeah, exactly.
It
and
looks
I-
just like our
I thought it was our minutes. All right. Any other corrections or additions? If not, can I have a roll call vote to approve, use the motion to approve? Patrick?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Reports. I went down after our work session on Saturday and spent some time at the post office and was mightily pleased. It's no longer just a pile of mud in the ground. It actually has a very attractive building. They put down the sub-base for the paving, and I understand the paving is going to occur sometime in the next week or two. I know they are going to do the boring for the water and sewer connections tomorrow, I believe. But we received an unofficial report from the person in the United States Postal Service who oversees, Barbara, is that who he oversees he's the project, for this particular project, okay. And he's saying that he may need several months? 2 months. So my sense is that we may be waiting until September 1st or thereabouts before we can have a grand opening of the new post office.
There's 2 months to do.
My God.
So early September. On my grave, it will say post office was the culprit. That put this man down. Yeah. It's like the famous grave marker I saw in New England said, "I told you I was sick, Martha." So, we also had a joint work session, and we had a continuation until Monday, June 21st at 7 p.m. So I wanted to make sure that those who did not attend the meeting know that continuation of the joint work session to discuss the Rush River Commons will occur on Monday evening, the 21st of June at 7 p.m. I also want to let you know that the Christmas in Little Washington is going to occur on the 5th of December. And Barbara, I've been asked if we can go ahead and get that date on the website. And that is all I have for the mayor's report. Is there a report from the Planning Commission? Yes, ma'am.
Our last meeting was not a joint meeting, and the meeting was in response to Rush River. We had put together a calendar for the 5-year comp plan, which surprisingly is due next year, in 2022. We now sort of put that on hold until the Rush River application is done.
Great. Thank you. And that was Judy DeSarno. Are you the vice chair? All right. Architectural Review Board. Is there any report from the Architectural Review Board? I think we do have a report in our documents from the Architectural Review Board. Treasurer's report, Ms. Swift.
Thank you. You all have the, as of May 31st in front of you. Very nice to see, needless to say, that our very conservative budget is getting blown out of the water, which we like very much. It's nice to have the world coming back together into the new reality. Do we have anybody on the town council have any questions on any of the items? And there's nothing on the bills to be paid. There's nothing outstandingly unusual.
All right. You like to
Anything you
make,
need to point out, Barbara, or are we fine? Could I have a motion? I will make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the treasurer's report and the bills to be paid. Is there any questions or comments? All right, roll call. Patrick?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes?
Joe?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Public Works Committee.
We will have a more fulsome, I apologize, we'll have a more fulsome report in July.
Okay.
We'll bring up to date on the, where we are with replacing meters and pump replacements.
Great. Thank you very much. We look forward to it. Mr. Bennett?
Would you like to discuss the timeframe first?
Yes, please.
So, as we discussed in the special meeting, Planning Commission, under the flood ordinance, has 90 days to make a recommendation. And the 90 days runs from the date, I'm sorry. And the 90 days runs from the date of certification that the application was complete. If you take all that and put it together, it means that the Planning Commission has to make a recommendation by August the 2nd. And I suggested in that meeting, just to be safe, that the special meeting be held on the 29th or the 30th, the preceding Thursday or Friday from that Monday. So, you know, it had been my hope and my assumption that, as has been traditional for every other land use matter that I'm familiar with, that it's always acted upon in a joint meeting of the Planning Commission and the Town Council. I'm starting to get the feeling that that may not be possible in this case. The council will receive the recommendation of the Planning Commission before the 2nd, and then to act, and let's say the advertised public hearing, they have to have an advertised public hearing, just like you're adopting an ordinance or rezoning something, to make that recommendation. So if you count out the dates for advertising, it means that the ad has to start on the 12th of July. And given the complexity and the number of matters involved and just the whole thing, that could be a tall order for the council to get everything in line, all the details, and have that in final form, so it could be the advertising could begin on the 12th, and it would be here in the clerk's office for inspection for anybody who wanted to take a look at it. Now, if that doesn't come to pass, if council does not have all that put together and ironed out, which, as I mentioned, is a lot of ground to cover.
You said the 9th of July?
The 12th.
12th of July.
12th of July.
That's when the ad would start?
Judy, I know
That's
what- Caroline said something, so you go ahead.
The planning commission has scheduled, it's not a meeting on the 9th.
Right.
So we hope we will come to a recommendation. And promise that that is our, we have a joint workshop session before with the council. My question to John is that considered a meeting or a work session? I consider it a meeting of the planning commission.
It can be whatever a quorum of the planning commission decides that they want it to be. It would be a special meeting, or the chairman could call a special meeting. And if that's the case, then you'd have to really get everything out, I think, the week before, so it could be in the newspaper and posted on the kiosk and on the website. Yes. So that would be, so if you say it's a meeting and you're going to review the Brush River Commons application, you could not arrive at any, we might have a consensus, but you can't take any action to approve any sort of recommendation, because that can only be done after the advertised public hearing, which it has to be advertised twice, and that's what we were just talking about. That would be on the first one. The ad would have to be in Monday, but I'm told that the person that handles that is working from home now, and she'll give us some slack until Tuesday. And she said if she's really not busy, maybe Wednesday morning, but I wouldn't count on that. And then it's advertised twice, and then I think the earliest you could have the public hearing would be on the 29th of July. After the public hearing, then the Planning Commission is free to make a recommendation. And that's forwarded to the town council if it's not a joint meeting.
Can they do it after the public session on the
After,
29th?
you can only, the Planning Commission can only make a recommendation in a land use case like this after an advertised legal public hearing. Just like if you're adopting an ordinance to change the water and sewer rates.
So let me ask one other thing that's a follow-up to what he was just saying. And that is, I didn't make my previous question clear. So if we have that public session on the 29th, or the Planning Commission has that public session on the 29th, can they make a vote at the end of that meeting on the 29th?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be customary.
Okay.
That would be the custom. But you don't have to. No. No, you couldn't, it's not advertised, you haven't had the public hearing. Well, in a work session, you can work on forms of a recommendation, the wording of this, wording of that, but you can't vote on it. And
What I'm trying to do is figure out if we can have a meeting that is a public hearing and vote before the 29th. That's what I'm trying to do.
well, let me look at the calendar here one more time.
How far in advance do we have to advertise, John?
2 weeks.
You have to have 2 advertisements. The last advertisement has to be a week, more than a week prior, a week or more prior.
So
to
if
the
you
hearing.
advertise in next week's paper on the 24th, and then again on July 1st, you could hold a hearing on the 9th and vote. 16th or something like that. Gives you one more week.
So my question is, do we have to have some written document that goes out to the public before the public hearing?
The Planning Commission, that's not necessarily a requirement, although in some jurisdictions, it's customary that the Planning Commission will consider the following in making a recommendation, and the issues are identified. So anybody who wants to attend the meeting, the public hearing, sort of has notice of what's going to be talked about, so they can prepare to discuss that. But that's not a requirement.
So we have a work session in what, a week? 21st. We have a work session on the 21st. And at that point, we're going to have a lot of questions answered. And, okay, just let me play with it. I'm hoping we can do this earlier to try to get this done so that you can have.
Deliberate.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what, when I was calculating all these dates, I made an assumption that the Planning Commission was not going to say, we recommend approval or we recommend denial. That I thought that whatever you did, you'd have a whole list of considerations subject to, we want to see this, this could be improved, we don't like this should be added, you know, that it would be very detailed to help to guide the council.
As I say, we'll get the answers to those questions, and then work through them. I'm very optimistic we can do this. More quickly than I live here now, 19
Yeah.
years, so perhaps that will
Yeah. And something to keep in mind for the council, so the planning commission makes a recommendation, and let's say
By August 2nd?
by August the 2nd, or makes one earlier, and says that we recommend approval subject to modification of this feature on the conceptual plan, say one of the buildings, or how it's oriented. When it gets to the council, council has the option to vote it up or vote it down. But what's more traditional is that you would have worked that issue out with the applicant prior to taking the vote.
Okay.
So there's something that's on the table that's satisfactory in principle to the council. So that takes longer. That's what takes longer. Working out all these details. John Foote and I were going over things today. There's a lot that's in there actually that,
So John, then the town council has 120 days
120 days
after they get the recommendation from the
after,
planning commission?
after the recommendation is voted on
By the planning
By the
commission.
plan-
by the planning
okay.
commission, yes.
Heaven help us that we don't need to use 120 days. All right. Thank you very much for that
Yes, sir.
update. And thank you, Judy,
Put that
for
in writing, John.
your work and deliberations and see what you all can do. I also see that there's another bullet point on the status of
John.
amendment to the sewer system district, Mr. Bennett.
That was just sort of riding along with the SUP, that if the SUP passes, it's necessary under the PUD ordinance that it's in the sewer service district, so you would amend that at the same time. If you deny the application, then there'd be no action that would be taken on that, or you'd vote to deny a modification of the sewer service district. So that's not a big issue. It's either yes, it's coming out there, or no, it's not.
Gotcha. Okay.
You don't have to work through all the engineering and all that.
So I have a question. So the Architectural Review Board, will the town council or the planning commission have any role in their study of the plans and
Well,
everything?
everybody will have a role in that because they have to consider all of it in public meetings, and everybody's welcome to attend. It's going to be published. And the reason you don't have anything now, as was discussed in the joint meeting, is, until they really finalize exactly what they have in mind, that they can't start drawing up elevations and buildings are going to look exactly like this, because they just don't know what the exact is at this point. But once they get to that point, I've been told by John Foote, they will then generate the elevations that could be taken to the ARB to be reviewed by the ARB. And of course, everything that the ARB does is public, and public comment is welcome. So everybody can
And the council
participate
has
in
the
that.
opportunity to review we can overturn or overrule the ARB if it comes down to it. We're not going to do that. I'm just saying we have the option to.
There's an appeal to the town council, yes.
All right. Any other questions from members of the town council? No, those are good questions. Thank you. Marianne,
No, it's still marinating.
okay. Can we move on, or do you?
You can move on.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, we just marinate there. Mr. Bennett, would you take off your town attorney hat and put on your zoning administrator hat?
I've got my boots out in the car. I'll need to switch shoes here because we just had a meeting on one of the applications. Mary Ann was there last Thursday at 3:30, was it?
Yeah.
3:30. But I think I've pretty much cleared most of them out except for Rush River, number one. And then number two, filed today, was an application for a zoning administrator's opinion by Miss Eagle on certain technical questions. That was filed today. I have 90 days to respond to that, but I'll do it much faster. Miss Eagle also filed today an application for a variance to the setbacks on that lot to allow the construction of a residence if the setbacks were varied.
For the members of the public, you're talking about the lot on Wheeler Street that
Yes.
currently has a barn on it
Yes.
or shed.
Yes. And Board of Zoning Appeals has 90 days to act on that. And then there's application, is it Crabb? Is that pronounced right?
Brian Crab.
To construct a swimming pool in his backyard, and Deputy Sheriff Barbara went out and posted notices on all the adjoining property owners' doors that we're going to hold a meeting on the property last Thursday at 3:30. Any interested property owner, and we had several, and had a good discussion and went through a whole lot of different points, and we left it, needed some more information about location of sewer and water lines, but the big one was Mr. Crabb and adjoining property owner were to discuss some things relating to vegetation and fencing and, construction criteria, that sort of thing. And the two of them get back to me. I have not heard back yet, so I'm not going to do anything until I hear back on that topic.
And it's not actually a swimming pool, it's called a plunge pool, and it'll be a hot tub and a plunge pool, which is you don't swim in a plunge pool, you just sort of take a dip.
It's 10 feet by 30 feet. I have a picture of one if anybody wants to see.
I
Looks
think
pretty
Should everyone want to put one in their backyard?
Mr. Bennett, thank you for that. Anything else that you'd like to add?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Old business, the ARPA update.
ARPA update. We are officially getting, don't get all excited, over the course of a year, a total of $113,000 and change.
I'm sorry, I am going to get excited.
Don't. Well, they've already spent it, don't worry. We will be receiving sometime within the next month, I hope, $65,282 approximately. And then a year from now, we will receive the other half. As we voted on last month, the ARPA funds are to be spent only on infrastructure. So what we're setting up, do you love the we? The we is the deputy sheriff. We're setting it up so that when the check is received, it will come from the state through the county to us. Lots of pass-throughs, nobody takes a cut of anything. We're going to be setting it up under the wastewater account, and Barbara will track it from there. So anything that we spend out of that money, we'll be able to track. And we do have until the end of 2024 to commit to what we're spending it to, and we have to have it spent by the end of 2026.
That won't be a problem.
I don't think so. No. Their little brains are already spending it. So that is your ARPA update.
All right. Thank you very much. We move on now to the fiscal year 21-22 budget discussion and a possible action therefrom. Is that you or is that Joe or?
That's me. It's me.
I defer to the gentlelady.
Yeah.
The
this
top
the Gail
sheet,
Swift
which may be
meeting.
the only one that you care about, which is the summary roll-up, but we do have 3 individual budgets, the town, water, and wastewater. I think we've regurgitated all of the numbers on here quite a bit through the work sessions. Did anybody have any questions moving forward on anything?
I do not. I would, I don't know if it's an appropriate thing to do, but I would like to go ahead and open it up to the public.
We already had a public hearing on it,
Okay,
so I think we can,
dispense with
I'll be
that?
happy to answer any questions, but I think we can hold that for the later,
Okay.
unless there are any huge outstanding questions somewhere.
Well, let me just briefly open it up and see if there are any huge outstanding questions. Are there any huge
There are,
outstanding
I will
questions?
kill anybody.
Oh, now.
Yeah. Be careful.
Anybody who didn't
she can
study
leap
it
very
over the
long
last
ways.
couple months is in a lot of trouble. Just ask Judd.
Not seeing any hands being raised, I conclude that there are no questions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would like to make a motion that all 3 budgets as presented be approved for FY 21-22.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions from council members, amendments, or corrections? Hearing none, roll call vote. Patrick?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, it is approved. I want to take a moment to thank Barbara, Gail, and Joe for all of their work on this process. It has been a Herculean process, and you guys did a great job, so I am grateful. And I know the rest of us on the council are grateful too, so thank you very, very much. The last thing that I want to let you know is that traditionally the town holds its holiday party on the Sunday after the Christmas and Little Washington Parade, if I recall correctly. So I am assuming that we are going to hold it on the 12th of December. So I wanted to, because the Christmas and Little Washington Parade is going to be on the 5th, and if I have not failed terribly on my maths, that means that the 12th would be the date for the holiday party. There needs to be no action taken.
Don't we need to get a chair for the holiday party?
That would be good. Is it usually a member of the council, or is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Who can gather together a few people from the town to assist.
Do
Because
I have
we know
any-
that the deputy sheriff only reports to John Bennett these days.
I see. Do we have a volunteer among us?
I have one thing to add to that. I've also officially awarded her the Miracle Worker of the Month Award for finding a document relating to the Rush River project that was 8 or 10 years old that I thought was lost forever.
Good,
All right.
Barbara.
Yeah, it's always on Sunday. Do we have any volunteers to chair the holiday party? All right, we will go ahead and let everybody marinate on that, and then we'll bring it back up on next month. So we'll bring that up for naming a chair at next month's meeting.
Yeah, you can just draft someone.
All right. That being done, I open it up now to the public for a public forum. Anybody, if you would like to speak at the public forum, please raise your hand and state your name and your whether you're a town resident or not. Seeing no hands being raised, I thereby close the public forum. And I'd like to have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
And, excuse me, I should have added this to the agenda. Can I bring up another issue?
Go ahead. Yep,
Very quickly.
yep.
I just wanted to mention, if people didn't know about it, Gail Swift had the good idea of having welcome bags for the new residents in town. 3 businesses in town were very generous in providing things to put in the bags, and we have a letter going forth, but I thought it, sort of a good news, feel-good story that council and the businesses working together.
Thank you, and we have to give a shout out to the wordsmith sitting behind me, and more importantly, to the team in the town office.
All right. Thank you very much. And thank you to the local businesses. It was much appreciated. This has been something that I know I've been talking about, that this is an important part of being a community, is welcoming all our new people. So, all right. May I have a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, Patrick?
Yes.
Yes?
Keith? Joe?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. We are adjourned.